think 2015 is certainly not going to be as strong as what we saw in 2014.
We've polished up the crystal ball and it's looking a little dull, I've got to say.
2014 was an unremarkable year for WA real estate. It recorded average growth of around 6%, but it was patchy. 2015 is looking flatter still. We've asked two people who know the Perth market for their 2015 predictions: REIWA President David Airey and property commentator and analyst Gavin Hegney from the Hegney Group.
We're starting to see the supply of property increase quite a bit, and that's offsetting the demand that's already in the marketplace. So that usually says a softening of prices, not a drastic increase in prices.
REIWA traditionally doesn't predict growth in markets, but the numbers are looking at probably keeping pace with inflation, which would probably suggest maybe 3-4% as an overall growth factor.
David Airey says 2015 could be the year for trading up. A steady market and a flatter top end will suit some buyers.
In the past few years, 11, 12, 13 and 14, we've seen strong growth and strong activity in and around the median price, which is roughly about $540,000. So where you are able to buy properties, say for 300, 400 or 500, they're very strongly sought after, and that'll certainly continue. Likewise, properties 6, 7, 8 and 900,000 are going to be in demand from those buyers who are upgrading.
I think the smart money is looking at perhaps trading up, using the low interest rates to trade up and to get into a lot better property. If you look at $100,000 or $200,000 difference, you're getting a lot of value for money for that extra trade-up money.
In WA, it seems people have been putting off upgrading, holding on to their homes longer than ever before.
The stat in Western Australia of people staying in their own home has moved out from 7 to 12, and it's now, if the latest figures we'll come up with shortly, will be closer to 15 years.
There's no doubt selling a house in a flat market is harder. The key, according to REIWA, is price right and present well.
Roadside appeal accounts for 25 to 30% of attraction to a property. You never get a second chance to make a first impression.
Growth in the Perth market is tipped to be the slowest in the nation, with some analysts predicting a correction in overvalued areas. Gavin Hegney says values in some suburbs could drop.
By the end of 2015, we may see some positive growth, but overall, I think it's going to be a flat year. We may even see values come back 1 or 2%.
But that means there could be bargains to be bagged for savvy investors or people trading up on the market. Gavin says houses that are 50 years or older represent good opportunities.
You're going to see some really good buys through the year, and it's worth having a watch the market and watching for those opportunities when they come up and not being afraid to take those opportunities, because there's going to be a lot of scared people on the market when we're seeing prices come back a little bit in some areas, and that's going to present those opportunities for the astute investors.
The winners again in 2015 could be tenants. In the early part of the year, rents won't rise and in some areas could continue to fall.
I think we've already seen rents come back a bit in 2014. We're probably going to see a little bit more softening of the rental market through the first 6 months of the year. I don't think we're seeing a lot of investors in the market now, so that means that the vacancy rate will start to drop by the middle part of the year. And as the vacancy rate drops, we should see the rents stop falling. So there's a window now for tenants to negotiate.
Interest rates are at historic lows. Gavin Hegney says he believes a further cut is possible, and that will be a wild card in the market.
The market economists are saying interest rates are likely to fall by the early part of the year. Now, if the interest rates fell, we're going to see the market actually gain some more momentum. So that's the wild card for 2015. If interest rates fall below the cost of rents again, we're going to see prices escalate again, as it's cheaper to buy than rent.
This is possibly a year to get set in with a better property or a trade-up property and a fixed rate of interest, and maybe set it for some years, because there's some very good deals out there on the financial market, in the loans market. It could be the year to consolidate.
You've got plenty of time to buy if you're looking to buy in 2015. For those entering into the market for the first time, don't be pressured that you have to buy in with a sense of urgency. It could be a good year to even save a greater deposit than step into the market too early.